Okay, let's take a look at, let's go over how to merge two different exposures of the same scene using a layer mask. You may have gone out and had a high dynamic range shot where the sky was very, very bright, but the landscape was very, very dark. And we'll show you how to do what we did in class, take the two layers, make a mask of one, and remove part of the mask to blend the two layers together. Went out to the river the other night near sunset and got some nice stuff, some nice scenes, but again I had ended up in a situation with a very, very bright sky and a very, very dark foreground. So what I'll do is take two of those scenes, okay, one here with a good sky, hold the control key, select that one with a good river, okay, and I'll open from there. Okay, once the two images are open, I'm going to go up to the tab, pull down so I can see both, grab the move tool, and drag one on top of the other. Now I did this with a tripod, so it should work fairly well. It should be fairly well lined up. Again, you'll see it kind of snap into place. Remember the opacity trick? Take the opacity slider, run it down to about 50%, and you can see how closely aligned they are. Okay, and those guys are pretty good. Again, I did use a tripod. Okay. So, go to my topmost layer, add a mask, okay, and make sure the mask is highlighted. I'm going to go down and click on the default foreground and background colors of black and white. Switch to black with the little double-headed arrow. Get myself a paintbrush. Want to make sure it's a nice soft brush, a hardness of 0%. And again, you can use the bracket keys to make the brushes larger, and I'll crank that up pretty good, and we'll go along here and remove some of the area where the sky just wasn't very good. There. And I'll get the brush a little bit smaller here with the left bracket key and go up and make sure I've got a tricky spot. So I'll go back. Looks like that's not going to work too well in that location. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go switch back to white and kind of bring back my original sky and make it look a little bit darker up there. Okay. And that's fine. It's off to the sides, not too much of a problem. Okay. And then I go to the right to the layers palette. I right click on it, go to flatten image, and I'm left with my composite of those two images, one exposed for the sky, another one exposed for the water. I'll go in and probably do a levels adjustment on this because it's still a little bit too bright in some areas. Okay. I'll bring the overall contrast and intensity down a little bit. There we go. I also got a blotch here, which means it's time to clean the sensor on the computer, but I can get around that by going in with the spot healing brush and make this a little bit bigger and go in there and zap that, and that'll be gone. There you have it. Merging two different exposures of the same scene for high dynamic range, combining them into one image. Have fun with that.